Hey everyone, Miss Elizabeth back here for the continuation of Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman, illustrated by Scotty Young, and published by HarperCollins. So, yesterday when we left off, Professor Steg and the father were on the alien spaceship from the beginning of the story, and it doesn't look like there's any escape. So, let us continue. The last line we read yesterday was, "Escape was impossible. Also, we have depowered your time machine." I looked at the professor. His armored back flaps were drooping, and his tail was, well, not actually between his legs, because stegosauruses aren't made that way, but if they were, it would have been. "We have been tracking your movements through time and space," said a large globby alien in front of a console with a screen on it. "Now, see what happens when I press this Grundledorfer," said a particularly drippy alien. It was half sticking to the wall next to a large, black, shiny button. "It's called a button," I said. "Nonsense! We named it after our brood aunt, Nessie Grundledorfer," said the globby aliens. The particularly drippy alien pressed the black button on the metal wall with something that might have been a finger and might just have been a long strand of snot. There was a crackle. There was a fizz. Standing around us in attitudes of anger and irritation were several pirates, some of the black-haired people from the jungle, a very unhappy-looking volcano god, a large bowl filled with piranhas, and some wumpires. Uh-oh. Quite a crowd there, look. "I'm not sure that I understand what the piranhas are doing," said my sister. "They were from a narrow escape earlier that I forgot to mention," said our father. "Fortunately, the milk floated at a crucial moment, and it all ended for the best." "I thought it might," I said. There's a picture of the sister asking about the piranhas. I don't know if these illustrations are coming through very well or not, but still trying anyways. Okay. "Uh-oh," I said. "Prepare to be keel-hauled, you scurvy dogs," shouted the pirates. "Let us now sacrifice them both to Great Splod," shouted the men with shiny black hair. "They stole my eye twice," rumbled mighty Splod. "Vivants those villains and warmints violently wound up," proclaimed a tall lady wumpire with long fingernails. The piranhas said nothing, but they thrashed about in their bowl ominously. "Doomed," moaned Professor Steg. "We cannot escape. They have frozen us in time and depowered us. Even my mighty time machine can do no more than open a small window in time and space, smaller than either of us could get through." And here's the people they mentioned a second ago. Let me see. There we go. "But can you do it?" I asked. "Open a little window in time to our last location?" "Of course. But what good would that do? Quickly," I said. "Do it!" Professor Steg pushed the button on the box with the tip of his nose. There was a zoom and a blip, and a window opened in space and time large enough for an arm to get through. I reached into it. "I'll explain later," I said. "Fate of the world at stake." I grabbed the milk from me 15 minutes earlier through the tiny space-time portal. "You must like milk a lot," said the globby aliens. "But that craving for lactic liquids will not make us take pity on you or let you go and spare your badly designed planet." "It should," I said. "What am I holding in my left hand?" "The milk," they said. "And what am I holding in my right hand?" They paused. Then one alien, so green and small and so globby and crested that he might have been an enormous snot bubble blown by an elephant with a terrible head cold, said, "The same milk from 15 minutes earlier." Here's the picture. Oh, two milks. "Exactly," I said. "Now, think about this one very carefully. What would happen if I touched these two things together?" The globby aliens went a very pale green. The pirates, shiny black airmen, and the piranhas looked at them, puzzled, seeking some kind of explanation, as did the umpires. "If two things that are the same thing touch," proclaimed the volcano god, "then the whole universe shall end. Thus saith the great and unutterable Splod." There's the picture. Green, globby, snot bubble alien. "How does a volcano know so much about transtemporal metascience?" asked one of the pale green aliens. And there's Splot and another alien. "Being a geological formation gives you a lot of time to think," said Splod. "Also, I subscribe to a number of learned journals." I coughed in what I hoped was an ominous sort of way. "Well," I asked. "What he said," admitted the green globby aliens. "The bit about the universe ending." "So," I told them, "unless you wish to spend the rest of your lives in a universe that no longer exists, you had better return things to the way they were, and then go away." The aliens looked at each other. They grinned at each other. One of them pressed the Grundledorfer. The umpires, pirates, piranhas, volcano god, and the worshippers of the volcano god were gone. "What if," suggested one of the green globby aliens hopefully, "we only redecorate the southern hemisphere?" "Not a chance," I said. "Now release us or the milk touches itself, and then go away. Leave this planet forever." They're the aliens talking to each other. The aliens looked at me, then they looked at each other, and then they sighed, with a noise like 100 elephantine snot balloons all deflating at once. "Right," they said. It was at that moment that a voice, louder than anything I had ever heard, and I had heard a volcano erupt at very close range, said, "Galactic Police, do not move!" My hands shook, but the milk did not touch the milk, and the universe did not end. There were red and blue flashing lights, and then, stepping off their space bikes, were about half a dozen uniformed dinosaurs holding unmistakably large and extremely serious weapons. They pointed their weapons at the green, globby aliens. "You are charged with breaking into people's planets and redecorating them," said a noble and imposing-looking Tyrannosaurus Rex, "and then with running away and doing it again somewhere else over and over. You have committed crimes against the inhabitants of 18 planets and crimes against good taste." "What we did to Rigel 4 was art," argued a globby alien. "Art? There are people on Rigel 4, said an Ankylosaurus, "who have to look up every night at a moon with 3 huge plaster ducks flying across it." Something very long with a head on the end of it came over to us. It was attached to a very large body on the other side of the room. "Who are you?" it asked Professor Stegg. "And why is your gorilla holding a transtemporally dislocated milk container?" "I am not a gorilla," I said. "I am a human father." "The human is holding the milk in order to make these evil, redecorating snot bubbles go away and stop menacing this planet and us," said Professor Stegg. The Diplodocus in a police cap opened its mouth and didn't say anything. And here's the space police dinosaurs. Ha-ha. The Tyrannosaurus who had handcuffed all of the green globby people together was something that looked a lot more like pink string in a can than it looked like handcuffs, which was a good thing because they probably didn't have hands and they definitely didn't have wrists, stared at us, and his eyes opened wide. "Great day in the morning," he exclaimed. "A biped, a stegosaurus, a floaty ball person carrier?" And he stopped as if unable to go on. There's the Diplodocus and the balloon. A pteranodon flapped over to us, then landed at Professor Stegg's feet. It looked up at him and said hesitantly, could you be the inventor of Professor Stegg's pointy zooming into outer space machine? Of Professor Stegg's really good moves around in time machine? Would you be the author of my travels into the extremely far future and what I found there? Professor Stegg, wisest of all dinosaur kind? Madam, is it truly you? It is, said the professor. Madam, I thought, embarrassed. And this is my assistant. The pteranodon extended a wingtip for me to shake, and without thinking, I moved the second milk from my right hand to my left, where the first milk was. Everybody gasped. And that sounds like a pretty swell place to pause, don't you think? I think so. Well, we have got one more day in the week, and that means one more video, and fortunately the milk. We will see what happens, and if the universe truly ends when the milks touch each other tomorrow. Thanks, friends. I'll see you then. Bye.